Namaskar and good evening to the viewers of Pandit Ravi Shankar Music Foundation. We are here to mark the 101 years of Bharat Pandit Ravi Shankar ji. Today, on our series of reflections, we are doing about 84th episode. And today is a very important day as far as the Bengali community or Bengali people are concerned because today is Baishe Shravan. Today we lost our Nobel laureate Thakur Rabindranath Tagore as far as the Bengali calendar is concerned. Rabindranath Tagore used to say that music is the purest form of art. Therefore, true poets seek to express the universe in terms of music. And in context, today we are having one of the disciples of Pandit Deepak Chaudhary. Let me talk about Pandit Deepak Chaudhary. Pandit Deepak Chaudhary was the senior most disciple of Panditji, and I have seen him in very younger age when he used to come to Varanasi in the Rimpa house to take lessons from Panditji. And we are also paying tribute to Pandit Deepak Chaudhary on his 75th birthday. So we are having one of our disciples of Pandit Deepak Chaudhary, Shri Tiratna Banerjee. Namaskar. Ithankada, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm also fine. Nice to see you. A
Thank
senior
you.
disciple of Pandit Deepak Chaudhary, who will be sharing his experience of his Guru as well as Dada Guru, Panditji. To continue the conversation with you, we have senior disciple of Panditji, Shri Gaurav Majumdar, to our show Reflections.
Namaskar.
Namaskar, Gaurav.
Gaurav,
How are
namaskar.
you?
Namaskar. What a beautiful day today, celebrating our beloved Deepak Das 75th year.
Yeah.
He's born in June, and every single day we think of him and we miss him. We miss him quite a lot. And it's very ironic that we meet today on Vaishya Shabun. Really, because both Guruji and Deepak Da, they worshipped Rabindranath Tagore. They were so influenced and they loved him like anything. So let's begin. Where do you want to begin the journey today? You want to begin the journey with your Guru, or you want to begin the journey today with your Dada Guru?
Well, first of all, thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks to you, Gaurav and Navarunji, for inviting me in this fantastic program. And it's also fantastic that you are celebrating Panditji's centenary, and this program is continuing since so long. I think this is the 84th episode.
Today is yes. It's
84th
been
episode.
going on for over a year, and with Chinnama's blessings, has joined. She's sending her blessings from London,
My
and
pranam to Chinnama, my pranam to Chinnama, and also my pranam to Pandit Ji, Ravi Shankar Ji, Bharat Ratna Pandit Ravi Shankar, and my Guru Ji, Pandit Deepak Chaudhary. So, I think it's better for me to start with my Guru Ji, since,
Sure.
Since I know him better,
Sure.
I have learned from him.
Sure.
Guruji, I actually went to Deepak Da. That's what I used to call him. He actually never, encouraged us to call him Guruji. He also preferred Deepak Da. So I went to Deepak Da in 1981. Actually, I started sitar in a way a little late. I mean, when I passed my 10th standard, my secondary. After that, I started playing sitar, and I went to him. And the our classes used to be held in Shamadas Chakraborty's house, another senior disciple of Panditji. his house. I used to go there. We all Guru Bhais used to go there, and our classes used to take in Sunday morning. So, uh, and as you know, you also knew Deepakda very well. Uh, Musician, as a sitarist, as a musician, we all know him. He was fantastic. But apart from that, as a human being, mm, I mean, you don't get that kind of a human being, very many are there. So, I I come from a house where there was no professional musicians. My father was a chartered accountant. My grandfather was a lawyer, and it's our family is of lawyer, chartered accountant, doctors like that. So I loved music, particularly instrumental music. I played tabla when I was a kid. Then I played harmonium for a long time. I also played mouth organ. I also performed in many programs in mouth organ. All the Hindi songs and Bengali popular songs like that. Huh. Also played a little bit of mandolin. But but actually I didn't learn as such. Going to a guru, from a teacher, learning from a teacher in a proper way. That didn't happen actually. So later on, when I started sitar, and when I went to Deepakda, uh, I was in 11th standard, 12th standard, like that. And it so happened that Deepakda had a very, what should I say, a very hypnotic personality.
Yes,
No, you definitely have felt that.
definitely. Especially
Uh,
his eyes. His eyes were
Absolutely, absolutely. It's so expressive, huh? And his personality was like that. So at that time, what happened is, it was rather impossible for me to come out of that personality and do my studies. Well, I have completed my graduation, but actually I was into music. Hmm. I learned from him. I tried hard, and that's it. And Deepakda was really fantastic, absolutely fantastic.
So let's take it from here. You
Yeah.
must have seen many, many, many events where you saw Guruji and Deepakda together.
Yes, yes. The
You must
first time
have seen a lot of uh, times Deepakda learning from Guruji or talking to or discussing things, or
yeah,
Deepakda performing with Guruji.
correct.
So
Many
take us
times.
on a journey of that.
Yeah, many times. Actually, the first program I heard of Panditji, and incidentally, Deepakda was also there. That was probably in 1977. I think it was 77 or 78. Uh, in those days, uh, that was a festival in North Calcutta, near Kumar Da Govindo Das house, actually.
Paikpara,
There's a Pike Pada, yes, exactly. And there's a huge park. It's known as Tala Park. Hmm.
Talapark. Yeah.
And what they used to do is it's a not only classical program. Classical program was only for a day, and the other songs, theater, Bengali songs, etc., were also used to be there for, I think, 3, 4, 5 days. And one day was for classical program. So that was the first time I heard Panditji and Deepakda both, huh, together. And I even Alaraka Khan Sahib was there in the tabla. And the thing is, actually, uh, I I knew some of the stalwarts of in music personalities like Gan Babu, and I very clearly remember that when I entered that was not a hall, it's a kind of we call it pandal, a huge pandal,
Open air.
not open, it's enclosed, but it's
But
not an
open air, open air.
But not an auditorium, not an
Correct.
auditorium.
Correct.
And I still remember, even Sanjay was with me. Sanjay Guha,
Yeah.
my Guru Bhai,
Yes.
my childhood friend. We actually
Yeah.
went together, and I clearly remember at the backstage was the green room actually, and where Panditji, Gyan Babu, and Alaraka Khan Sahab, they were discussing Amin Khan Sahab's Marwa. The way Amir Khan Sahab used to sing Marwa, these three stalwarts they were discussing, and I was there. Me and Sanjay, we two were there. So, after so many years, these are the things to cherish with, Huh. And I remember they played Hamir. That's the only rag. Definitely, they have played some other rags also, but I can remember only Hamir. That was the first time. And second time I heard him was in SRA. That was I think, the first annual program of SRA.
It was the
Sangeet.
inauguration. Correct. It was the inauguration.
It was the inaugural program, correct.
Yes. Yes.
And there I remember both the ragas. Panditji played Basant Pancham and Maru Bihag.
Uh-huh.
I remember. Alraka Khan Sahib was on the tabla. And another incident I would like to say, this is a very interesting incident. That was a program in Kala Mandir. Deepakda was there. I don't remember that. Oh, it was Hamir again. Actually, I heard Panditji playing Hamir at least 4 times. I think 4 times. The last program which he played in Calcutta was in Netaji Indo Stadium. There also he played Hamir. Although he said Hamir Kalyan, but anyway. But this particular program, this was in early 80s, probably 1980 or 81, like that. A peculiar thing happened. After the Alap Jor was played, and now Panditji was ready to start the Gath in Tintal. Deepakda also got ready with the instrument. Then suddenly, from the auditorium, someone started shouting. And since Panditji was there on the stage, he actually, at the beginning, he didn't understand what's happening. Why are some people shouting? What's the problem? Then a person, he stood up and he said that we came here to listen to you, not your student.
Oh.
Just imagine. We got the ticket, we bought the ticket, and we came here to listen to you, not your disciple. So at first, Panditji actually couldn't follow what he was saying, since he was quite a distance away, Then someone relayed it to him. What happened is, after that, Panditji took the microphone, and the way he explained and the way he appreciated Deepakda, it was fantastic.
Explain. Tell us. Please tell us about it.
And within moments, within not even a minute, probably, the entire thing, calmed down.
What did he say? What did Guruji say?
He said, as far as I can remember, he said that you have come to listen to me, not only this program. You are listening to me for years. I'm playing here, and you have come to listen to me. and I have always tried to maintain a particular standard of my uh, rendition. And there are many students of mine, many disciples, but Deepak is very special. And I
Oh,
have always felt that he has uh, the capacity to perform at par with me.
how nice.
That is the only reason why I have selected him to accompany me. So just imagine the way a guru appreciated his disciple, and just within a few minutes, the entire thing calmed down, and the rest of the program went on very smoothly. So this was naturally Dipakda was very embarrassed. Naturally, yeah, he was sitting there with his head down, and we all felt very bad. We all felt very bad, and there was quite a bit of shouting inside the hall. Also, some people asking that fellow to sit down, to go away from the auditorium. And you know what happens? This thing happens. Someone is saying, yes, yes, he's correct. What he's saying is absolutely correct, etc., etc. But when Panditji took charge, it was
Yeah,
calm.
because Guruji always mixed authority with humility.
Exactly, sir.
So he would
Exactly.
never say, no, you have to listen to whatever we are doing or whatever. He just
Exactly.
said with humility that, yes, of course, you have to. I'm going to play for you. You listen to me. You have
Yeah.
listened to me also in many programs, but
Right.
also listen to this wonderful disciple who's young, who's working hard, and who's good.
Exactly.
How
Exactly.
what a
Exactly.
wonderful way of
Ah,
making the audience accept a wonderful
exactly.
disciple like Deepak Da.
Exactly. Exactly.
And Deepak Da played many
Many,
concerts
many concepts. Many concepts. Many
all
concepts.
over the world, not just
Yes.
in India. He played abroad
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember, in the start of the, what should I say, season. Actually, in those days, most of the programs were used to take place in winter only in India, like test matches. In the test, winter means test match. So classical program means winter. So I have seen every year a list of programs used to come to Deepakda. Huh? And I think Dubeji used to send them, the list. So many programs, many.
So let me ask you here. The
Mhm.
first concert, of course, in 1977, what you mentioned,
Hmm.
Hamir.
Yeah.
It's very important because that was sort of like, I mean, Guruji's peak was always, I feel, in 50s, in 60s, in 70s, 80s. I mean,
Yes.
he kept evolving, he kept
Yes.
creating a new style, and he kept evolving. But 70s was a very special period.
Yes. Yes.
Explain us the format of his rendition. Explain us the format of the Alap George Hala. Explain us the format of the Gat and the Guts consecutive in different rags. How he planned the concert and how long was the concert.
That particular concert you want to know, or I mean, in
To
general.
begin with, to begin with that particular concert, and then in general.
That particular concert, actually, I only remember the raga. Otherwise it's so long back. And at the time also I was 77, means uh, I think I just started playing sitar. Even I didn't go to Deepak Da. I was playing, I was rather, I would say I was toying with the instrument. It's not proper talim or etc. etc. So at that time, to understand something, you have to learn. So I was not in that position at that time. But I remember the raga, it was Hamir. Huh. But later on, when I started learning and I started understanding the ragas and the talas and the different Angs of our gharana, Drupad Ang, and within the particularly say for example the Jod Ang. Huh? Jod, though I would say uh, I have never heard anyone play Jod like Panditji. No one. Huh? So his Jod was a speciality. Huh? Apart from his Ragdari and Gatkari, Jod was a speciality. That's what I feel. That Dhrupandag Jod and the within the Jod, different angs are coming, say Tarparan, Lar then these things are coming. The beginning part of the Jor, the rhythmic, the way he used to use the rhythm. He was a master of rhythm also. He was a master of rhythm. The rhythmic structures he used to build, it's mind blowing, superb. Whenever I listen to him now, even now, there are so many things to learn. And Deepakda also, I'm very lucky, particularly later part of our talim, when myself, Sanjay, and Ajayda, Ajayda,
Yeah.
we three used to go to his Kalighat residence, 418 Kalighat Road, and there he used to teach us separately, not with all. And that teaching was in a completely different way. I mean, usually what happens is when you start learning the paltas, etc., the way we learn, everyone will learn, how to compose a tan, the guts, etc. But later, when we used to go to Kalighat, the talim was like a sort of performance, in a particular raga. He would tell the chalans initially. After that, he'll take a gut, and it was an improvised talim, and it was like a performance. Huh. He will play, we will follow him. It was like that. And there, when we were taught this Jorang, Deepakda gave us fantastic talim. I know how much we took it, how much I can play it is a different thing. But regarding talim, there is that was fantastic. That was fantastic.
Absolutely. He followed Guruji to the T. He followed
Absolutely.
Guruji to the T. And Tirthankar Bhai, I remember very well, my first concert I also saw of Guruji. It was with Pandit Kishan Maharaj and Deepakda in
Okay.
Allahabad.
In where? Allahabad.
Allahabad.
Okay.
And Guruji played Bihag that day. I'll never forget that Alap in Bihag. I will never forget that beautiful Alap in Bihag. In 70s it was, again, in 70s,
Okay.
a long concert. But my personal association with Guruji is also associated with Deepakda, because the first very time when 1985, when I went to Guruji to play for him, also in Allahabad. So I reached the hotel early morning, and what I see outside in a pan shop, Deepakda with a genji and a lungi and a Hawaii chappal, he's standing on the road
Right.
with trademark BD, and he's having a pan. And it was, I'll tell you, it was so fascinating. It was so wonderful to see a man with that beard, with those eyes, and lost in his world. Lost in his world.
Absolutely.
He left such an impression for me. And then I went inside. I didn't speak to Deepakda because I didn't know him. So I went straight inside to Guruji's room. And Guruji made me sit down, and then he immediately sent Dubeji to call for Deepak Da. So Dubeji went out and called, and Deepak Da came, and then Guruji introduced me. And it was so wonderful. I still remember, of course, I was very nervous. And Deepak Da was going to sit on the floor, and Guruji was sitting on the bed, and I sat on the floor with my violin. That time I was playing the violin.
Yes.
So Guruji called. Deepak Da said, "Na." Deepak Da ke bollo, "Na, tumi esho khana amar pashe bosho." Deepak Da ke pashe bosho. So, and then I played Bhairav for almost hour and a half. They listened. So he left a very deep impression on me. Very deep impression with his philosophy, with his humanity, his love for Guruji, his love for Guruji's talim and Guruji's. You know, you will be surprised that from that day we formed a bond. And then whenever he would come to Delhi or we would go to Banaras to Hemangana, we always shared the room. Deepak Da would always insist, "I want to be with Gaurav."
Right.
And in between, because I was living with Guruji in Lodi Estate, whenever Deepak Da would visit, the first thing he would do, he would sit down and he would say, "Acha, যতদিন আমি ছিলাম না এখানে কি কি শিখিয়েছেন কি কি রাগ?"
Right.
He বলো আমাকে সব, he would write down the notation, he would play. I mean, he was so senior to me, he knew everything already. But if there was one new sargam in Yaman, he wanted to know.
Right.
If there was a new sargam in Behag, he wanted to know. If there was a new rag, sometimes Guruji taught us very rare rags.
Right.
Deepak Da would learn it, and then he would go to Guruji and said, "Apni ebar eder apni nut শিখিয়েছেন তো আপনি অনেক আগে আমাদের শিখিয়েছিলেন, তারপরে আর করার নেই, এইবার নাট দিয়ে আপনি শুরু করুন।" আর আমার খুব ভালো লাগতো, because we would not be able to say that to Guruji ki ei rag shikha nahi. But we saw that relationship already developed with Deepak Da because of the long association.
Correct.
Deepak Da would sit and Guruji would look at Deepak Da and Deepak Da would say, and I would prompt Deepak Da, "Deepak Da, আজকে একটু জোড়াং শিখবো আমরা। Deepak Da, আজকে একটু আমরা ইয়ামানে একটু ধ্রুপদ অঙ্গে কিভাবে আলাপ হয়।" আর আমরা Deepak Da কে আগে থেকে করে রাখতাম কি Deepak Da এটা বলবে। আর Deepak Da to the T যেই শুরু হবে, "আচ্ছা গুরুজি আজকে একটু আমাদের একটু আপনি একটু জোড়ের যে আলাদা আলাদা লেয়ার, জোড়ের যে আলাদা আলাদা স্টেপস আপনি আজকে আমাদের করান।" So Deepak Da for us was like a person in front between us and Guruji. Guruji থেকে আমাদের এই রাগটা চাই, এই বন্দিশটা চাই। বা আমাদের এখনো মনে আছে জিলার যখন তালিম হলো, তো আমরা the whole day, for the next 2-3 days we spent on Zila, learning Zila Kafi and Shuddha Kafi. আর জিলার যে আমাদের ঘরে যে বন্দিশগুলো আছে, every day it was amazing. Plus, personally me, I would sit separately with Deepak Da to learn compositions of Guruji, what he created in 40s and 50s, especially in the basic rags.
Right.
আমাকে বলতো, "এটা তুমি শেখোনি, এটা জানো না?" এলাম, "না Deepak Da, শিখে নাও, এটা শিখিয়ে দিন।" এটা কৃন্তালের উপরে পুরো বন্দিশ, জমজমার উপরে পুরো বন্দিশ। তারপর একটা আমাকে এখনো মনে আছে শিখিয়েছিলেন উনি, পুরো মিড়ের উপরে ইয়ামানের বন্দিশ। নিরেগা গারে নি ধানি রেগা মাপা, পুরো মিডের উপরে। তারপরে একটা গুরুজি শিখিয়েছিলেন Deepak Da কে কি তুমি যখন ট্রাভেল করবে অনেক সময় টাইম থাকবে না। এটা দিস ইজ সো অ্যামেজিং। তো ওই কম টাইমের মধ্যে ম্যাক্সিমাম রেয়াজ, একটা বন্দিশ উনি করেছিলেন গুরুজি, যার মধ্যে আলাপ থেকে নিয়ে, মিড থেকে নিয়ে, তোমার কীর্তন, জমজমা, ঝালা, বোল সবকিছু ছিল।
সবটা কভার করে একটা
পুরোটা about 5-10-15 মিনিটস এর পুরো কম্পোজিশন। ওর মধ্যে তোমার সবকিছু, তো ওটা যদি তুমি 4-5 বার 10 বার বাজিয়ে দিলে আধ ঘন্টা 40 মিনিটের জন্য, you have practiced everything.
Right. Very interesting.
And Deepak Da, আর তারপরে হঠাৎ মানে আরেকটা অ্যাসপেক্ট Deepak Da ছিল, Deepak Daর সাথে চায়ের দোকানে যাওয়া। কালীঘাটের মোড়ে, ওই সরকারের ওখানে, আর ওখানে হঠাৎ দেখছি একটা দেওয়ালে কিছু বাংলায় লেখা আছে। Deepak Da ওটাকে অনেকক্ষণ ধরে দেখছে। আমি বললাম, "Deepak Da, এটা কি এটা?" আর Deepak Da তখন পড়ে শোনা এটা রবি ঠাকুরের একটা saying about this religious fanaticism. তারপরে ওটাকে সুন্দর করে দীপকদা আমাকে বোঝালো।
হুম
বাড়ি যখন আমরা ফিরে এলাম 418 কালীঘাট রোড, আমি আমার ডায়েরি রাখতাম, সবসময় দীপকদাকে দিলাম। আমার এখনো মনে আছে, দ্যাট ওয়াজ 1 জানুয়ারি 1991। এই জন্য মনে আছে কেন, ওই দীপকদার বাড়ি থেকে আমি গেছিলাম আমার সেতারটা নিতে।
ওকে, হেমেন বাবুর কাছে, এক্স্যাক্টলি।
প্রথম দিন চেক করলাম, তারপরে চেক করার পরে কয়েকটা চেঞ্জেস ছিল। পরের দিন 2 জানুয়ারি আই টুক মাই ডেলিভারি, আর গুরুজি ওই অর্ডার করেছিলেন আমার সেতারের। তো আর ফিরে এলাম, দীপকদা ওই ওই যে সেইংটা ছিল রবি ঠাকুরের, ওটা আমার ডায়েরিতে বড় বড় করে সুন্দর করে দীপকদার হ্যান্ডরাইটিং এ লিখলেন। আর আমার সেদিনকে মনে আছে, আমি I don't know why in the হেমেন্দার দোকানে
হ্যান্ডরাইটিং ওয়াজ ফ্যান্টাস্টিক,
ফ্যান্টাস্টিক হ্যান্ডরাইটিং। আমার কাছে আছে, আমি রেখে দিয়েছি, ওটা বাঁধাবো আমি। তো বাড়িতে এসে বিলাসখানি তড়ির তালিম হলো। আর ওই বিলাসখানি তড়ি যে শুরু হলো, হি টুক মি ব্যাক টু বেনারস ইন 70s, যখন ওখানে দীপকদার বিলাসখানি তড়ির তালিম হয়েছিল।
রাইট রাইট।
So it was always like going on a journey and meeting Guruji even though Guruji wasn't there.
Right, exactly.
আর প্রত্যেকবার তীর্থঙ্কর ভাই, প্রত্যেকবার দীপকদা লোদি এস্টেটে এসে আমাদের সাথে থাকতো। যখন যেতেন আমি সবসময় ওনাকে ট্রেনে তুলে আসতাম। যাবার সময় he had tears in his eyes, কি দেখো গৌরব, জানো তো এই ছেড়ে যখন যাই, আর বাকি সব ঠিক আছে, বাট when I leave him and go every time, it's a very emotional moment for him. And when it comes to music, when it comes to talim, আমার কোনো আক্ষেপ নেই, আমার কোনো I have nothing to complain, I have nothing to ask. He has given me so much.
Absolutely. And আরেকটা জিনিস, এটা তো we talked about Deepakda and Deepakda as a sitarist, as a performer, as a classical musician. But the another aspect of Deepakda, which is his creative music.
তো ওইটাতে আমি আসবো এখন, কেন আমার এখনো মনে আছে that whole process of হরি খেলা।
হ্যাঁ, হরি খেলা তো অনেক পরে।
আমি ছিলাম তখন, উনি যে হরি খেলার থিম, হরি খেলার যে মিউজিকটা মমতা দি আর ওনার সাথে যখন করলেন, প্লাস যখন দিল্লিতে কামানিতে ওটা শোটা হলো, তো গুরুজির সব অ্যাসপেক্ট গুলো উনি কিন্তু সুন্দরভাবে নিয়েছিলেন। গুরুজি অ্যাজ আ ম্যান, গুরুজি অ্যাজ আ পারফর্মার, গুরুজি অ্যাজ আ কম্পোজার, গুরুজি অ্যাজ আ টিচার।
কারেক্ট।
সুন্দরভাবে দীপকদা ওটাকে ব্যালেন্স
সবটার মধ্যে ছিল, সবটার মধ্যে ছিল।
ওর বিষয়ে একটু তুমি প্লিজ টক টু আস অ্যাবাউট ইট।
হ্যাঁ, অ্যাকচুয়ালি দীপকদা you know, he actually comes from a family, very culturally inclined family, you know. His father was in IPTA, and his
very artistic family.
Yeah, and his uncle, you know, Bijan Chaudhary, was a famous painter.
Correct.
His younger brother Manoj Chaudhary was also a painter.
Correct.
And also his another uncle, Choto Kaka, Torit Chaudhary, he was a painter, and not only that, he was a very renowned portrait painter, Torit Kaka, and also he was a theatre person. And Deepakda, interestingly, Deepakda himself was very much interested in theatre. I have felt many times that probably Deepakda would have become a theatre person had he not been a musician. He was so much into theatre. The way he used to analyze after say watching a theatre, then after the way he used to analyze that theatre and all the aspects of theatre, you know, not only the the literature, but also the acting, the light, music, of course, is there, the sets, the props, etc., everything. He was fantastic. And he has also, I mean, Deepakda worked with Bijon Bhattacharya, one of the stalwart in Bengal theatre, when Deepakda probably was in his college days, you know, so long back. He worked with Bijan Bhattacharya, and the show was in Ravindra Sadan. Bijan Bhattacharya was something in Bengal. Bijan Bhattacharya is something. And then after that, when I went to Deepakda, Mamata Shankar's that Harikhala is famous. I also worked there. I actually, me, myself, Sanjay and Ajayda, we worked, I mean, countless recordings. We were there. We played. And Harikhala also I was there. Only yesterday or day before me, I was talking to Tejendro and we were talking about Harikhala. And it was, Rameshda was there and all the Torunda was there, Torun Bhattacharya, Santur, he was there, and all the big names were there. Almost 30 to 35 musicians on the floor, you know. Huh. And also Deepak Da, when this TV serial started, the first mega serial and the most popular serial was Taro Parvon. Huh.
Taro Parvan.
Taro Parvon and Deepak Da music in Taro Parvon was fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. Hmm. And many films, one theater in Bisharjan, Rabindranath Thakur's Bisharjan. That was way back in 84, I think. 84. Uh, the music was fantastic, fantastic music. Hmm. And
And also
also,
his work, regular interaction. Of course, a lot of admiration he had for him, and he worked a lot with Satyajit Ray.
yeah, of course, Satyajit Ray. You worked with him
Satyajit
also.
Ray loved him like anything, like a son.
Huh, huh, huh. He played there. He worked with
Yes,
him.
I
Huh,
remember.
huh. And
Both the houses, I stayed quite
also,
a lot in 418 Kalighat Road and also in Bansdroni when Deepak Da
yeah,
shifted there.
huh, huh.
আমি
And
কলকাতা বলে
also,
আমি দীপক দার সাথেই থাকতাম আমি।
হ্যাঁ 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 আমি তো দেখেছি আমি তো একবার ইনফ্যাক্ট তোমাকে সি অফও করতে গিয়েছিলাম হাওড়াতে
মনে আছে
ইউ
আমার।
ওয়েন্ট
So I saw the whole process of the development of Deepak Da's
হুম
creative
and,
work,
and
and
you know and also he arranged music. The compositions were not his composition, but he arranged music uh, for two albums. The arrangements were fantastic, fantastic. And in the first album was of Suresh Bishas. You know what we call Gono Sangit. A little uh, left leftist song, you can say. Anyway,
তোমার ফোনটা তুমি একটু মিউট করে দাও।
okay, okay.
হ্যাঁ, মিউট না করলে না ওই বারবার ওইটা আসছে।
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ
মিউট।
ঠিক ঠিক
হ্যাঁ, হ্যাঁ। এই মেসেজ আসলে ওটা তোমার ওই করছে। হ্যাঁ, বলো।
হ্যাঁ সাইলেন্ট মোডে করে দিলাম হ্যাঁ
হ্যাঁ।
তো Deepak Da could sing very well.
Yes,
Fantastic. He was a fantastic singer, and also the tone of his tone was fantastic.
beautiful.
Beautiful, yeah. And in one occasion, I remember uh, he actually in those days he had a very nice Sony tape recorder,
Yes.
and he went to he met Suresh Da somewhere in Kalighat, someone's house. I was there, and he was actually Suresh Bishas. He told him to Deepak Da told him to sing the songs, so that because Deepak Da have to know the songs to make the arrangement. And one particular song was in Tappa style. So Suresh Bishas sang it, and after listening to it, Deepak Da also started singing with him. And after listening, when he heard Deepak Da singing the song, he was a very nice person, very innocent person. He said, Deepak, I think you better sing this one. I will not sing because you are singing better than me. So these things I remember. It's very nice. And you just mentioned Kishan Maharaj ji.
Yeah.
In a program we arranged, actually, me, Sanjay, and we all Guru Bhais, there was a music circle called Swat Jhankar, and we arranged a program of Deepak Da with Maharaj ji on the tabla. It was a big program. We arranged it in Kala Mandir. And Deepak Da played Dhamar in Shiv Ranjani. But that was the second half of the program. Usually I used to sit with the Tanpura with him. But in that particular program, I didn't, because, since we were arranging the programs, there are so
Correct.
many things, you have to look after. That's why if you go to stage, you are confined, So in the interval, I was inside the auditorium, and suddenly I heard an announcement that Tirthankar, wherever you are, you immediately come to the green room. So I ran, and when I ran, when I reached the green room, the Kalamandir green room was underneath the stage. You have to go down. So when I reached there at the stairs, Deepak Da and Maharajji already came up from the green room, and Deepak Da told me that I'll play Dhamar. You come to the stage and you keep the tal with Maharajji. So I told him why. This was, I didn't expect it. He didn't even tell me that you have to do it. I was not mentally prepared, actually. So I said, why? He said, come, let's go. And I have to go. So that was what should I say, acid test for me, with Maharajji just opposite me and Deepak Da here. And particularly when they were playing Saath, both of them were looking at me and I'm giving the tal. So anyway, I passed.
How nice. How nice.
And there are some incidents I would like to say, I'd like to mention.
Please.
In one program, probably Deepak Da was not assisting Panditji. It was probably Indranil Bhattacharya. Probably. I don't remember exactly. What happened is that program, in here in Kolkata, what we used to do is, that time, we were all students. We didn't have money, and Panditji's programs where the tickets were quite a lot for us, all of us, not only me, at a high price ticket, So somehow we used to manage and enter the stage, in fact, and Shyamadasa used to help us a lot. Shyamadasa. Even in one occasion, Noduda also, took us inside the stage. Nodu Mollik. And Shyamadasa used to help us a lot. But in one program, what happened is, fortunately, in that program, I got a stage pass. So there's nothing to worry. I had something, and no one will tell me to go out, So when I entered, there was almost, say, 80 to 100 people on the stage. The program was packed. And the organizers, they were asking each people to show the stage pass, and none of them had any, Hardly 10-15 people had the stage pass. Fortunately, I was one of them. And they were just asking them to get lost, go out. You can't stay here. Oh, that program was organized by Badal Dhar Chaudhary, Shishish Kara Dhar Chaudhary's husband.
Yeah.
Ultimately, what happened is, Panditji probably bought almost 100 tickets. That's what I heard later. Panditji bought 100 tickets, and he said that no, everyone will stay here. You tell me the amount, I'll pay you, but no one is to leave the stage. Everyone will stay here. So this is a fantastic incident.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
একটা হঠাৎ আমার মনে পড়ছে, because there was a concert in Calcutta. আর সঞ্জয় সবসময় এই কনসার্টটার কথা বলে। আমি এই কনসার্টের কথা গুরুজিকে জিজ্ঞেস করেছিলাম, আমি কোনো উত্তর পাইনি। আমি এই কনসার্টের কথা দীপক দাকেও জিজ্ঞেস করেছিলাম, আমি কোনো উত্তর পাইনি। বাট সঞ্জয়ের মেমোরি এত ভালো, আর ও এত গুরুজিকে শুনেছে, এত এত জায়গায়, নানান রকম জায়গায় ট্রাভেল, আর ওর মনে থাকে কি রাগ বাজিয়েছিলেন, কতক্ষণ বাজিয়েছিলেন, কি গদ বাজিয়েছিলেন। সঞ্জয় একটা মেনশন করে সব সময়, একটা শুদ্ধ মান উনি কলকাতায় বাজিয়েছিলেন।
আমি জানি, আমি প্রোগ্রাম শুনিনি, তবে আমি একটা প্রোগ্রাম শুনেছি। সেই প্রোগ্রামটাতে উনি বাজিয়েছিলেন কৌশিক কানাড়া ইন বাগেশ্রিয়াং।
ইয়েস, কারেক্ট। শুদ্ধ মানজের ওটা আমি না তার আগে কোনো না তারপরে, বাট ওই কনসার্টটা সঞ্জয় খুব মেনশন করে। ইনফ্যাক্ট আমি একটু, আজকে অনেকরা দেখছে আমাদের প্রোগ্রাম, আজকে উই হ্যাভ such a large number of people who are watching. আমি একটু, তুমি যদি আমাকে 2 মিনিট দাও, আমি একটু মেসেজগুলো একটু পড়তে চাই। খুব ইন্টারেস্টিং মেসেজ। এখানে চিন্নাম্মা আছেন, অফকোর্স চিন্নাম্মা নমস্কার বলছেন, ওয়েলকাম বলছেন। তারপরে চিন্নাম্মা সুন্দর দুটো মেসেজ দিয়েছেন এখানে। একটা বলছেন, তুমি যখন দীপকদার বিষয় বললে, কি দীপকদা মানা করলেন কি আমাকে গুরুজি বলবে না, আমাকে দাদা বলবে। So Chinnamma বলছেন, that shows the nobility of Deepak. He loved his Guruji so much and he didn't want to be called Guruji.
Right.
আর আরেকটা চিন্নাম্মা খুব সুন্দর যেটা, which is so correct, is that Deepak was a very special human being.
Absolutely.
Very special human being. তার ছাড়া এখানে নিশা আছে আমাদের সাথে, চ্যাটার্জি, কিথ ডেনমার্ক এখানে শিকাগো থেকে, তারপরে জয় মেহতা, ভাস্কর সেনগুপ্ত, অহির রায়, সন্দীপ নিয়োগী, অনুশুভ ব্যানার্জি, শিল্পী রবি, তার ছাড়া অনিরুদ্ধ মুখার্জি তবলা বাজায়, ও দেখছে, তারপরে কিংসুক চক্রবর্তী, কুমার আচার্য। আচ্ছা, সঞ্জয় বলছে ওই যে প্রোগ্রামটা টালা পার্কে 77-এ প্রথম রাগ ছিল, সেকেন্ড রাগ ছিল পঞ্চম সে গারা।
I see.
আমি বললাম না, ওর সব মনে থাকে। আর সঞ্জয় একটা সুন্দর এখানে লিখেছে that it was a 3 hours program starting at 8 o'clock and he finished at 11 o'clock.
হ্যাঁ, 3 hours 4 hours প্রোগ্রাম প্রচুর শুনেছি।
কোনো ব্যাপারই নয়, কোনো ব্যাপারই নয়।
আরেকটা জাস্ট আমি, আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে তুমি শেষ করে নাও, তারপর বল।
কেশব শর্মা আমাদের সিমলা থেকে, আমাদের গুরু ভাই, পূর্বাসুর, অর্ণব মল্লিক, রাজশ্রী ভট্টাচার্য, নবরুণ ভট্টাচার্যজি, তারপরে সোমনাথ সরকার, ইবাদুল, তোমাদের গুরু ভাই, such a wonderful person and a sitar player, ঢাকা থেকে দেখছে, খুব এনজয় করছে, বলছে what a nice conversation. সুমন দত্তা রয়, তারপরে প্রসেনজিৎ দাস, তারপরে এবাদুল বলছে আমি ভীষণ মিস করি গুরুজিকে। তারপরে এস দাস বলছেন 13 পর্বণ, what a theme music, what a beautiful theme music.
Absolutely.
কৌশিক রায়, তো lot of people watching, lot of people. It shows the love people. এত বছর তো হয়ে গেল দীপকদাকে গিয়ে, কিন্তু এখনো দীপকদার কথা রোজ মনে পড়ে, দীপকদার কথা রোজ কারুর না কারুর সাথে কথা হয়। বাজাতে গেলে দীপকদার কথা মনে পড়ে, দীপকদার শেখানো বাদেশ কত শিখেছি দীপকদার থেকে। দীপকদাকে আমি খালি এক মানে সিনিয়র গুরু ভাই খালি নয়, আমার দাদা হিসেবে নয়, আমি গুরু হিসেবে দেখি আমি দীপকদাকে। অনেক শিখেছি আমি দীপকদার। আর দীপকদা যদি আমার লাইফে না আসতেন, সত্যি আমার শিক্ষাটা যেটা যেভাবে ডেভেলপ করলো, কেন দীপকদার চোখের সামনে আমি ভায়োলিন ছেড়ে সেতার, মানে খুব লেট আমার লাইফে 1987 আমি শুরু করি। তো দীপকদার অনেক অনেক অবদান আছে, অনেক অনেক আমার প্রতি ওনার এত ভালোবাসা। আর বসে বসে উনি অনেক সময় উনি শেখাতেন, তারপরে রেয়াজ করতেন আমার সাথে, তারপরে খাতা চাইতেন, খাতাটা আনো, খাতায় লিখে দিতেন।
এই যে তুমি বললে না যে এখনই বললে না যে 3 hour long প্রোগ্রাম, হ্যাঁ, এরকম 3 hour long প্রোগ্রাম, 4 hour long প্রোগ্রাম আমরা সেই সময় প্রচুর শুনেছি, প্রচুর। আর ইনফ্যাক্ট আমি যখন প্রথম পন্ডিতজি আর আলিয়াবা খান সাহেবের ডুয়েট শুনি, দ্যাট ওয়াজ ইন বেনারস, দ্যাট ওয়াজ ইন 1982 আই থিঙ্ক, দ্য ফার্স্ট টাইম I was there in Benares.
কোথায় কোথায় এটা?
Benares. The
जुगलबंदी।
program, sorry,
जुगलबंदी।
Jugalbandi, huh? Jugalbandi. Huh.
Music is gold.
Could be. I don't remember that, but what I do remember is it was biting cold that day, and so many people were just outside on the street, and the program started. They started playing at 10 at night till 6 in the morning. So এটা দেখেছি। আরেকটা পরে দুর্গাপুরে একটা হয়েছিল প্রোগ্রাম, সেটাও যুগলবন্দি,
যেটাতে পান্ডাল ভেঙে গেল।
হ্যাঁ,
যেটাতে পান্ডালটা ভেঙে গেল।
না 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 না, সেটা না,
ঝড় এলো।
সেটা মহারাজজির সঙ্গে ওনার সোলো ছিল।
আচ্ছা।
আর এটা আমি যুগলবন্দি বলছি। সেখানেও ওনারা রাত্রির বোধহয় 12টা 12:30 থেকে ওনারা প্রায় ভোর 5টা অবধি বাজিয়েছিলেন। হ্যাঁ, কৌশিক কানাড়া এন্ড ললিত।
দুটো রাগ খালি।
হ্যাঁ, আর 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 আরেকটা যেটা ইনসিডেন্ট বলছি, প্রবাবলি এটা শ্রীরামপুরে, ইফ আই রিমেম্বার কারেক্টলি, বেহাগ বাজিয়েছিলেন। I was there, but that time I didn't realize. অনেক পরে I got the recording from somewhere, এবং বিলম্বিত গত্তা উনি বাজিয়েছিলেন সে for about 45 minutes, 50 minutes or so. But the লয় এতটুকু লয় বাড়েনি, যে লয়তে উনি শুরু করেছেন সেই লয়তে শেষ করেছেন।
তবলায়
প্রবাবলি কুমারদা।
তো তাহলে ভেবে দেখো
Just imagine, it's so difficult,
starting from all those 3-minute recordings,
exactly,
to playing for about 12 hours, 8 hours, 9 hours, কত রেঞ্জটা তুমি ভেবে দেখো। রেঞ্জটা তুমি আমাকে তুমি তো মিউজিক সম্বন্ধে লেখো পেপারে, আমাকে একটু রেঞ্জটার সম্বন্ধে একটু বলো তো।
আচ্ছা, অনেকে আমাকে তো মঞ্জু মেহতা একবার এখানে একটা প্রোগ্রামে এসে উনি বলছিলেন,
ইংলিশে বলো প্লিজ।
হ্যাঁ, মঞ্জু মেহতা, সে about 3-4 years back, after a program we were chatting, and she said the first Saptak program,
কৌশিক কানাড়া বাজিয়েছিলেন।
হ্যাঁ, and that was there was only one item, Panditji and Maharajji, the first Saptak program, and Panditji played for 7 hours. 7 hours. I mean, how could he do it? I don't know.
আমাকে একটু এইটা একটু বোঝাও। আমি কয়েকটা জিনিস, কেন অনেকরা দেখছে তো আজকে, অনেকরা আছে যারা গুরুজিকে দেখেনি, দীপক দাকে দেখেনি, কিন্তু ওনার মিউজিক শোনে, ওনার বিষয়ে জানে। আমাকে একটু বোঝাও এটার পেছনে হোয়াট ইজ দ্য ব্যাকগ্রাউন্ড রিয়েলি। একে তো ওই আসনে বসা, ওই আসনে সেতার নিয়ে বসা, ওটা একটা ফিজিক্যাল অ্যাসপেক্ট আছে, মেন্টাল একটা অ্যাসপেক্ট আছে। তোমার ধীর স্থির হয়ে বসতে, তোমাকে তো শান্ত হয়ে বসতে হবে তো।
তাই তো।
আর মাঝখানে তো হাজারটা কথা মনে হবে, আমার বোধহয় মোবাইলে হোয়াটসঅ্যাপ মেসেজ এসছে, বা আমার বোধহয় উনুনে চাটা চড়ানো আছে, বা আমার তো আজকে একটা মিটিং আছে, এত সব জিনিস। তার ছাড়া এবার তুমি যখন বাজাতে শুরু করলে 10 মিনিট, 15 মিনিট, 20 মিনিট, 1 ঘন্টা, 1 ঘন্টা পর তো মেটেরিয়াল তো শেষ হয়ে যায়।
হ্যাঁ, তাই তো, এক্স্যাক্টলি।
তো এটাকে আমাকে এই দুটোর পেছনে যে দর্শনটা তুমি একটু আমাদের সবাইকে একটু বোঝাও, একটু বলো এর বিষয়ে।
একটা জিনিস আমার মনে হয়,
অ্যাজ আ প্র্যাকটিশনার অফ দিস মিউজিক, তুমি নিশ্চয়ই এটা নিয়ে ভেবেছো অনেক।
Of course, actually the main thing which I think is very important is the talim. The talim, not only knowing the ragas, that is definitely one important thing. Apart from that, I mean, you can think of playing a raga for 2 hours, but with what material? What have you learned? How much do you know? So that is very important. And I think Panditji could do it because of that. All the equipments were there with him. Talim was there, the other materials were there, and at the same time, his intellect,
His
that is
creativity.
his creativity. Definitely, these are all the factors. These are all the factors. And Panditji, I have thought many times that in in one aspect, Panditji was very orthodox, very
Very,
orthodox. Huh.
very traditional,
Very
very rooted,
traditional, very
rooted in the
orthodox.
past and rooted in the beankar tradition, the beankar
Absolutely,
style.
absolutely. Huh. But on the other hand, he was also very creative. So he could blend both these aspects, huh, and that's why he could probably play for such a long time. I think that's what I think.
Absolutely, very, 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 very true, very true. আর প্লাস অলসো আরেকটা জিনিস যেটা আমি সবসময় দেখতাম, রেগুলার রেয়াজ।
Yes, that is of course.
সকাল বিকেল, সকালেও বসবেন বিকেলেও বসবেন, রেগুলার প্র্যাকটিস
I
এভরি
have even heard, I have even heard that probably he was doing a recording long back. I think it was late 60s or early 70s or something like that. He was recording music for a film in Bombay. And also there was a concert in between. So probably after doing the recording for and probably the studio was booked for 6 7 days. It was a long recording. I have heard it, or I have probably read it somewhere. I can't remember now. But he told the director and the producer to leave him for a day because he has got a concert the next day, and since for the recording he couldn't do his regular practice for 3 4 days, so he asked for a day leave because he'll do the riyaz, he'll practice because there's a concert he'll have to play.
অ্যামেজিং,
Huh.
অ্যামেজিং,
But
অ্যামেজিং।
the money factor is there, no? Because the studio is booked for that day also. Huh. So this is amazing, really. And I'll tell you one funny story. It's very nice. I mean, this will bring out the how witty he was. Huh. Panditji, talking about Panditji. After a program in Netaji Indoor Stadium, he went inside the green room, and I think that program was organized by Rimpa because we all Guru Bhais were volunteers. So we got a
রবীন্দ্র
souvenir.
করে হবে বোধহয়, রবীন্দ্র করে
Huh?
হবে,
Sorry? Huh?
রবীন্দ্র করে হবে বোধহয়।
Could be. I don't remember. Huh? Anyway, we got a souvenir. So after the program, he was sitting on a chair in the green room, and about 8 10 people were standing in a queue to get his autograph. Huh. So I also stood there. I'll get his autograph. So one after another, when I reached him, he looked up at me and said, "Tomakeo dite hobe? Even you want it?" So I said, "Yes, please." So then he said, "Kon language? Which language you want?" So I thought, either it will be Bengali or English. What else can it be? Maximum Hindi. I said, "Anything. It's up to you." So he again looked at me, and he gave what should I say, a little naughty smile, and he said, "Okay, then I'll sign in Chinese." Then I remembered, Ari, he went to China only 2 3 months back. I didn't realize that he can write also or sign in Chinese. So I scratched my head and said Chinese. I thought no one will understand. So he said, "Well, you told me any language." I said, yes, I did tell you. So he smiled and he wrote in Bengali and English both,
সুন্দর
But
বাংলা,
actually,
বাংলা।
but actually, much later on, I realized that I should have agreed, because a Bengali boy in Calcutta and Panditji giving his autograph is in Chinese, this is something special. And Bengali and English, so many people have, but Chinese, hardly anyone have his autograph in Chinese in India. In China, it's okay.
Very true. He was multilingual. He was very global.
Very.
He was wherever he went. It felt that he belonged to that place. But as you know, I think everybody
So
knows
flexible,
that
actually, to accept all the cultures is
he
not
spoke.
easy.
His French was fluent. He could read and
Yeah.
write and speak in
Yeah,
French.
yeah.
But মনে প্রাণে তো বাঙালি ছিলেন না। So
And his memory was phenomenal.
outstanding,
Phenomenal. Outstanding.
আউটস্ট্যান্ডিং মেমোরি অ্যান্ড উনি একবার তোমার সাথে দেখা হয়ে গেলে তোমার নাম যদি একবার জিজ্ঞেস করে নেন, পরের বার তোমাকে পাক্কা দেখা হলে তোমার নাম, তোমার মা কেমন আছে, মার কথা যদি উনি জানেন, বা আচ্ছা দীপক কেমন আছে, দীপক কোথায় আছে এখন, এভরিথিং he will in a nutshell he will ask, and he will
And also, I'll tell you one thing. He was also concerned about us. I mean, Deepak, the students, because it happened thrice that he has sent 3 guts for us. One in Yemen, one in Bhupali, and another in Desh. And Desh Bandish it's very difficult to play, very difficult. And the sum is in Pancham, in Pa. And that gut, these 3 guts he composed for us. I don't know, probably even you have learned it. But he gave these guts to Deepakda and told him that you teach them. It's for them.
It's amazing that care, that that to think that I want to share everything I have.
Exactly.
It was an amazing gift, and Deepak Da had that gift. He shared everything with everybody who came to him, and he has left a beautiful legacy, you all disciples. And I'm so happy that later this month you're celebrating Deepak Da's 75th birthday, his 75th, even though he was born in June, but it's the same year, and we'll all talk about him, we'll all think about him, and
Right.
We think about him anyway all the time. With these words, Tirthankar Bhai, I thank you for coming today, speaking to us, and bringing alive these beautiful people, these 2 beautiful people, who are so important to us in our life. And will always be as our my Guru Pandit Ravi Shankar ji, your Dada Guru, your Guru Deepak Chandri ji, my senior Guru Bhai Deepak Da, and also I as you know, I respect him like a guru.
Yes.
And a great human being. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gaurav. Thank you very much for inviting me. I could share something with my about. Thank you, Navarun Dada.
Thank you, Tirthankar Da. It was very nice to hear your lovely memories about Deepak Da and your Dada Guru. Be safe. And Gaurav Da, thank you once again.
Thank you, Navarun. Thank you. Nice to see you. You stay safe, and you take care, and I will see you soon. Thank you, Navarun.
Thank you, Dada.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And the viewers, do join us on 15th August, that is Independence Day, with our special episode of Reflections. That will be our 85th episode. Good night and be safe.